The secret to gaining power through Stoic philosophy. Ancient wisdom for modern success. What is power? Is it wealth, influence, control over others? Or is it something deeper, more enduring, like control over oneself? For centuries, people have sought power in politics, in business, in relationships, and within society. But the Stoics, those ancient philosophers who lived simply, spoke sparingly, and observed life with calm detachment, believed that true power is not found outside, but within. They believed power begins not by dominating others, but by mastering yourself. In this video, we'll explore the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy and how it can help you gain real power, the kind that doesn't fade with age, popularity, or fortune. You'll learn the principles, the mindsets, and the daily practices that made the Stoics some of the most powerful thinkers in history. And you'll see how you can apply these same ideas in your modern life, whether you're building a business, leading a team, navigating relationships, or just trying to be a better version of yourself. Let's begin. 1. Redefining power, the Stoic view. In our modern world, we often confuse power with external dominance, commanding wealth, followers, or attention. But the Stoics saw through this illusion. To them, the only power worth having is mastery over the one thing we truly own, our minds. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, said it best. "You may fetter my leg, but my will, not even Zeus himself can overpower that." Think about that. Even when enslaved, Epictetus believed he still had power, because he had control over his reactions, his thoughts, his inner judgments. This is what the Stoics called prohairesis, the faculty of choice, the ability to decide how we interpret and respond to the world. Real power, then, isn't about controlling the world, it's about controlling how we experience the world. And from that foundation, true influence can be built. 3. Control the controllable. One of the most powerful Stoic teachings is to focus only on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. This simple idea is at the heart of Stoic power. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled one of the largest empires in history, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Think of how much energy we waste trying to change things beyond our control. What people think of us, what might happen tomorrow, how someone else behaves. The Stoics would say this is weakness. Power begins when you reclaim your energy from these distractions. When you narrow your focus to your own thoughts, actions, and judgments, you become unshakable. You stop reacting to life and start responding with intention. This doesn't mean being passive. It means being strategic. It means choosing your battles. It means taking responsibility for your state of mind, no matter what chaos swirls around you. 3. The power of emotional mastery. Nothing reveals weakness more clearly than uncontrolled emotions. Anger, envy, fear, pride. These are the storms that wreck good judgment and derail clear thinking. The Stoics taught that if you want to be powerful, you must learn to observe your emotions, not obey them. Seneca, the Roman statesman and Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively about anger. He said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." This is true of all emotions. The Stoics didn't teach suppression, they taught awareness. They taught us to pause, to examine, to ask, is this emotion helping me or hurting me? Is this reaction within my control? They knew that a person ruled by emotion is easy to manipulate, but someone who can master their inner state, who can stay calm when insulted, steady when frightened, grounded when praised, is untouchable. That's power. 4. Turning adversity into strength. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. This idea was central to Stoic thought. They believed that hardship isn't a barrier to power, it's the path to it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, obstacles don't block your path, they are the path. When things go wrong, when people betray you, when plans fall apart, that's when your character is tested. That's when you sharpen your resolve, deepen your patience, and clarify your values. To the Stoics, suffering wasn't a curse, it was training, a furnace in which strength is forged. And that mindset gives you an edge in life, because while others crumble under pressure, you adapt, endure, and emerge stronger. 5. Practicing negative visualization. Here's a counterintuitive practice the Stoics used to gain perspective and power. It's called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Each day, they would imagine the worst that could happen: losing their job, falling ill, being exiled, even death. Why? Because by confronting fear mentally, they removed its power. Seneca explained, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." Modern psychology confirms this. When we mentally rehearse adversity, we become less reactive, more resilient, and more grateful. The Stoics weren't pessimists, they were realists, and by preparing for hardship in their minds, they walked through life with calm, with gratitude, and with unshakable power. 6. Building influence through integrity. True influence doesn't come from manipulation or charm, it comes from consistency. People follow those they trust, and trust is built through virtue. The Stoics held 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. They believed that by living according to these principles, regardless of circumstances, you become a force of stability in a chaotic world. Marcus Aurelius didn't preach virtue, he practiced it, even as emperor. He lived simply, he listened to critics, he admitted when he was wrong. And because of that, people followed him not out of fear, but out of respect. In your own life, this is the path to true influence. Don't chase attention, don't try to be liked. Be principled, be steady, be honest, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. That's the kind of power that lasts. 7. Cultivating inner stillness. In the noise of modern life, notifications, opinions, media, the person who can find stillness has a superpower. The Stoics valued silence, reflection, and solitude. They practiced daily journaling, quiet walks, and simple routines. They made space for introspection, so they could think clearly, act deliberately, and stay connected to what really matters. Today, the world rewards speed, but Stoic power is rooted in stillness. When you slow down, you stop reacting and start responding. You detach from impulse and become intentional. You stop being driven and start leading. Inner stillness is not just peaceful, it's potent. It gives you clarity, and clarity is a form of power. 8. Knowing what to ignore. Power is not only knowing what to pursue, but what to ignore. The Stoics were masters at tuning out the noise. They didn't chase gossip, luxury, or validation. They knew that these things promise happiness, but deliver dependence. Instead, they focused on what they could control: their actions, their virtues, their character. In a world filled with distractions, the ability to ignore is crucial. Ignore the insult, ignore the trend, ignore the fear-mongering. Stay centered. Epictetus said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." Power means not giving others free access to your peace. It means protecting your attention like it's gold, because it is. 9. Detachment. Love without clinging. The Stoics loved deeply, but without dependency. They taught us to care without being controlled, to engage without being attached, to give fully and accept the outcome. This detachment isn't cold, it's courageous. It means loving people while knowing they're not yours, serving your purpose without expecting reward, doing good even when no one is watching. Because the more you cling to outcomes, the more power you lose. But when you can act with integrity and let go of the results, you become free. You become powerful. 10. Daily practice. Turning wisdom into action. Knowledge alone doesn't make you powerful. Action does. The Stoics weren't armchair philosophers. They lived their ideas daily. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations in the early hours of the morning before leading the Roman Empire. Epictetus told his students to focus not on talking about philosophy, but on living it. So, how can you put Stoic power into practice? Start with these daily actions. Morning intention. Ask yourself, what challenges will I face today, and how will I respond with virtue? Journaling. Reflect on your reactions. What did you do well? Where did you lose control? Evening review. Before bed, examine your day. Did you live with integrity? Did you act with purpose? Mindful pauses. When emotions rise, pause, breathe, choose your response. Power grows through discipline, through reflection, through steady, quiet mastery of yourself. And over time, that power becomes visible to others. They'll feel it in your calm, your clarity, your courage. You won't need to raise your voice. You won't need to prove yourself. You'll be powerful because you'll be grounded, focused, and free. Final thoughts. The Stoic legacy of power. Power, according to the Stoics, is not about dominating the world. It's about not being dominated by it. It's about standing firm in a storm, being calm when others panic, choosing principle over popularity, truth over comfort, and reason over impulse. It's about mastering your inner life so completely that no external force can shake your center. That kind of power doesn't fade with time. It doesn't depend on luck, status, or applause. It comes from you, from the choices you make, from the practices you build, from the philosophy you live. So, remember the words of Epictetus. No man is free who is not master of himself. And remember, if you can master yourself, no one can master you. That is the secret. That is the way of power. The Stoic way.